A special good evening to you, our viewers here in Guyana and around the world. I am Demerara with the Tuesday, July 11, 2023 edition of the Globespan 24/7 News. These are the headlines of the top stories we are following today. Senior legal luminary and co-founder of the Political Affairs Committee, Ashton Chase, has died. Another dream realized, House allocation exercise. A special good evening to you, our viewers here in Guyana and around the world. I am Demerara with the Tuesday, July 11, 2023 edition of the Globespan 24/7 News. These are the headlines of the top stories we are following today. Senior legal luminary and co-founder of the Political Affairs Committee, Ashton Chase, has died. Another dream realized, House allocation exercise opened. Demerara Harbor Bridge will be closed to all traffic for 3 full days. Kanu granted order by High Court to further detain man busted with cocaine. Anadil and LBI residents to benefit from 260 million water distribution system. In the region, 12-year-old boy dies from knife wound. And internationally, lava bursts through ground after intense earthquakes.
Senior legal luminary and co-founder of the Political Affairs Committee, Ashton Chase, has died. He passed away yesterday at the age of 96. It was the Political Affairs Committee, which he co-founded, that led to the formation of the People's Progressive Party. However, over the years, he became more involved in the labor movement and the legal system, placing active politics on the back burner. President Irfan Ali in a statement said that Ashton Chase's death represents an incalculable loss to the nation, noting that his name and contributions will forever be etched in Guyana's political, labor and legal history. He further said that Ashton Chase made an exceptional contribution to Guyana's nationalist struggle and political history and was the last surviving member of the Political Affairs Committee, which was established in 1946. Meanwhile, President Barack Jagdeo in his statement said Guyana owes an eternal debt of gratitude to Chase.
Another dream realized, House lot allocation exercise opened yesterday morning at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. Some 800 low and moderate income families were offered residential house lots in Lusignan and Two Friends, on the east coast of Demerara. The exercise was led by Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Kroll, Minister within the Ministry, Susan Rodriguez, and Chief Executive Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Sherwin Greaves. During his address, Minister Kroll stated that the initiative is part of the government's manifesto promise to provide 50,000 house lots to Guyanese by 2025. He further mentioned that while land allocation is taking place, billions of dollars are being invested in ongoing infrastructure projects within new and existing housing schemes.
I'm aware how long you're waiting, and not to repeat, but simply to say that yes, we're on another dream realized. But sometimes people ask, why do we do these activities? And it's important, as you come to go through the process, you've done the initial process, and many of you, you're waiting for years, and as I've just said, anxiously waiting one day. In addition to going into housing and keep following up, you're hoping one day you see a familiar phone number that is calling you to say that we're ready for you. But it is also important for you to understand where we're at and where we're going and what we're doing. And if you notice, the recent allocations for Region 4 have all been a East Coast Demerara, an East Coast Demerara, an East Coast Demerara allocation. The work continued, therefore, as we move towards our overall target, and our overall target of 50,000. The work continues for us to acquire new lands. On this year alone, our focus will have Regions 4, where we have 4, 3, 1, 6, and a portion in 5. 10 is already identified. Region 7 is already identified. So those will be our focus regions. But it's not an easy exercise, because the resources that are now required to develop these lands are much more costly for developing a lot, per lot cost. And simply because we have to keep going inwards. And as we keep going inwards, it means we're going closer to the conservancy. As we keep going closer to the conservancy, it means the land is not necessarily, the preparatory work required is much more than when we were out here. So that is why you will see us having increased costs. Susan said to you, $10 billion alone on East Coast. Right now, we have contracts for development of new areas. If you take out the 4-lane roads, we have contracts that are signed to at least about $36 billion for development of new infrastructure, new areas for persons like yourself who you today, after today, will be accessing.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge will be closed to all traffic for 3 full days from the night of the 24th of July to the 27th of July. The closure is to facilitate the logistical replacements for the replacement of one of the spans on the bridge and other related issues. The Minister of Public Works will be meeting with companies and other key stakeholders likely to be affected by the bridge closure at a public consultation. The consultation will take place on Wednesday afternoon at the Umana Yana, and the event is open to the general public. The closure will affect commuters on both sides of the Demerara River over the 3 days. It is expected that the operating hours for boats traversing the Georgetown to Vreed en Hoop route will be extended. The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit has been granted an order by the High Court allowing them to further detain a 32-year-old East Bank Demerara man who was nabbed with cocaine, before filing charges against him. Permanand Persad, a Herstelling resident, was arrested by canoe ranks last Thursday after they found 23 pounds of cocaine in a car that he was driving. He was immediately arrested for questioning about the cocaine. The law only allows law enforcement to hold a suspect for 72 hours without filing charges. With that period expiring, Canoe moved to the High Court and was granted the order to further detain the man as the investigations continue. The seized cocaine has a street value of more than $10 million, according to Canoe. The government will construct 2 new water distribution systems in Annandale and Laban Intention on the east coast Demerara, at a total cost of $260 million, as part of efforts to increase access to potable water along the coast. The Guyana Water Incorporated is inviting eligible contractors to execute the project, which entails the construction and drilling of potable water wells. The sum of $130 million has been allocated for each of these projects. Once completed, residents of Annandale, LBI, and the surrounding communities will enjoy the benefits of a more reliable water source. Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, said the construction of new water distribution systems and the expansion of existing infrastructure aligns with the government's housing drive along the East Coast Corridor. Police are investigating the death of a 12-year-old schoolboy, who was taken to the Princestown District Hospital on Monday night, bleeding from a wound to the neck. This is according to an article by the Trinidad Express newspaper. Tariq Tony, a Standard 4 pupil, died while being treated at around 7:50 p.m. He lived with his parents at 6th Company Circular, Indian Walk, and attended the 5th Company Baptist Primary School. A report stated that hospital officials contacted the Princestown SID, saying that a 12-year-old boy was taken to the health facility at around 7:08 p.m. with a chop wound to the neck and unresponsive. The child's mother, 39-year-old Jayloy Tony Clark, told police that she was in a bedroom while her husband and son were cutting coconuts outside their home at around 5:30 p.m. Tony Clark said she called out to her son to take a bath. The mother said a minute later, her son entered her bedroom saying, "Look what happened, Mom. Look what happened." The child was taken to hospital in a relative's vehicle. A volcanic eruption has sent lava and smoke pouring out of the side of Mount Fagradalsfjall, near Iceland's capital Reykjavik. It comes after intense earthquake activity in the area. Local authorities said on Monday there was no imminent hazard to people in the region. The volcano is located in the country's southwest, on the Reykjanes Peninsula, which is known to be a seismic hotspot. Domestic flights were delayed after the eruption created a plume of smoke over the road connecting the capital to the country's largest airport.